Well, as usual, if there are any problems or questions you have in the last lesson, you can share your problems and questions, please. Ask the questions you have.
He's a teacher, sir. In this sentence, we doesn't have an object. If the sentence doesn't have an object, it has an effect on the sentence or not.
Tell me that again.
We didn't have, you can see, object here. He is a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
It shows state, I think, here. So if there is no object inside of sentences, does it have any cause or effect on the sentence?
No.
No.
An object is not an essential part of the sentence. A sentence should have only three characteristics. A sentence must have a subject. Number two, a sentence must have a verb and complete meaning. These three are the characteristics of a sentence. Whether there is an object in a sentence or not, it doesn't matter. The most important elements in a sentence are subject and verb. Without subject and verb, a sentence is impossible, right? And it must convey a complete meaning. So if a sentence has these three characteristics, whether there is an object or not, it doesn't matter. It is a sentence still. And in one case, we have minor sentences as well, where there is no subject and verb, right? So in minor sentences, even if there is not any subject and verb, it is still a sentence. But in normal sentences, in major sentences, a sentence must have these three qualities.
Minor sentence like what, sir?
For example, I ask you, like, did you come to the class yesterday? You just said no. That no is the answer. It is a complete sentence. But the sentence has repeated already, so no need of telling and repeating all the words in this sentence. You just said no. No, I didn't come. Actually, the sentence is like this. So we call this a minor sentence. But in normal sentences, major sentences, an object is not an important element. So we just look at the verb. If it already gives complete meaning, no need of any object. If there is something which must be used in order to complete the meaning of verb, then we must use an object.
So could we complement of infinitive object of infinitive?
Yes, complement of infinitive, object of infinitive. They are both the same.
I have questions, but without lessons.
No problem. Go for it.
What is, no, not, where the word come from no? What is the full form of no? And how much is stronger? No is stronger or not stronger?
Well, there is not anything about the weakness and strength. They are two different words. They have different functions and they are used in different places. Do you mean the difference between these two words?
Not difference. Which one is stronger? No.
Not and no.
Yeah.
So I already told you there is nothing about the weakness and strength. They are two different words. They have different functions and they are used in different positions. When it comes to the word not, it is used after an auxiliary in order to change a sentence into negative in all the tenses, right? The word no is a conjunction used at the beginning of a sentence in order to show feelings, right? For example, no, I didn't say anything. So here, no is an interjection, right? The word no is also an adverb when it answers a question negatively, right? For example, someone asks you and you say no. So in answer, you can't say not. You have to use no. Also, it functions as an adjective. It functions as an adjective and it is used before a noun and it means not. Like, there is no money. Only in this case, when it is used before a noun and it negates the meaning of that noun, you can use them interchangeably, not in no. But in case when there is nothing of it. But if I say Now, in these two sentences, you cannot use them interchangeably. They are not used instead of each other because they have different meanings here. Like if you say there are no 5 students, that is wrong. No is used when there is, none of the students.
None of
Then you can use no. Like there are no students. There are not students. Then you can use them interchangeably. But if there is if there is an amount of something, the no is incorrect to be used. Then you have to use not in order to negate the meaning of this word. So they're used differently. They're not used the same. Only in the case when there is nothing, right? Then you can use them interchangeably. If you say, I have no money, and I have not money in British, and I don't have money in American, right? So in that case, they're used instead of each other. But in normal cases, they're used differently. They're not the same. And there is nothing about the weakness and strength. And the weakness and strength about not and no is mentioned only in the case when you say there is not anything, there is nothing. The no and not are used instead of each other in that case. And it is important to use no, not, when there is not any amount of something. The no is normally used instead of saying like, I need no pens. I do not need any pens. So instead of saying I do not need any pens, we mostly say I need no pens. Only in this case they're used instead of each other.
So you mean, sir, not is used only in the cases.
Not is only an adverb. It is used after an auxiliary in order to negate the sentence. And no is the negative response of a question. No is used when there is nothing of something. And no is used as an interjection in order to show feelings. It is used in 3 cases.
The word stop, sir.
Mhm.
Which kind of sentence is this?
Stop.
Without interjection and with interjection, yes. And how we can change this to negative?
Well, it is an imperative sentence. If you say stop,
Stop, yeah.
come, talk, listen, look. These are imperative sentences, and in all the imperative sentences, we have a hidden subject.
Hidden subject.
Yes, that is you. In all the imperative sentences. Whenever you want to change an imperative sentence into negative, you have to use only don't. Because an imperative sentence is used in present simple always, and the subject is always you. So in present simple, we have 2 auxiliary verbs, do and does. And here the subject is you, so we can negate all the imperative sentences with only don't, like don't stop.
This is the negative form.
Yes,
Don't stop.
only like this.
In simple present tense.
Of course, the imperative sentences are used in present simple. And in all the imperative sentences, the subject is you, which is hidden. It is plural, so we cannot use doesn't instead of don't here. And the reason is because there is only one subject, and that is you. And with you, I always use don't, not doesn't. Any other questions?
Could we just change this to passive voice? Stop.
Yes, we can. Imperative sentences are changed into 2 ways. Into passive voice. Should I erase this? One structure for imperative sentences is to use let plus object, then be third form of the verb. But we can change only transitive verbs in this structure. If there is an imperative sentence and the verb is intransitive, it means there is no object. Then we cannot use this structure. For example, the word stop. This sentence is not changed into passive because there is not any object. It is an intransitive verb. But if I say, help me, it is also an imperative sentence, but it has an object. Help is a transitive verb. Now you can change it into passive. Like, let me be helped.
Be helped.
Let me be helped. And All the rest of imperative sentences can be changed in this structure, whether the verb is transitive or intransitive, no matter. Then we use the subject you to be verb. And here we use some words which are used for order, like suggested, ordered, requested, and so on. Then infinitive, to plus verb plus complement. So in this structure, we can change all the imperative sentences, whether the verb is transitive or intransitive. Stop. You are suggested to stop. You are requested to stop. You are ordered to stop. And you can also change it, this sentence, like you are requested or you are suggested to help me. So imperative sentences are changed into passive in these two structures. Any other questions? Okay, we're done with the types and cases of noun. Now we're going to study the gender. The genders of nouns. What does gender mean?
Gender.
Genes, the sex or the status of a noun is called the gender. In here we study 4 genders for a noun, that is masculine, feminine gender, no, common gender, and neuter. A noun which is used for male living beings is called the masculine gender of a noun. A noun used for whether they are humans or animals. It refers to both. كحيوانات وكإنسانان وي. Right? A noun used for male living beings is called the masculine gender of a noun. For example, the word brother is not used for a female. It is used only for male. So we can say that the word brother is a masculine gender. Oh, and we need it to understand when we use pronouns for nouns, then gender is important. Kala چې موږ pronouns use کوو د noun لپاره نو دا بیا ضرور ده چې موږ په دې پوهیږو چې دا کوم جنډر دی تر څو د لپاره یو pronoun په صحیح شکل باندې use کوو. And the feminine gender of a noun is when a noun is used, a noun used for female living beings is called the feminine gender. For example, the word sister doesn't refer to any male living being, but a person who is male. A sister is used only for female. So we can say that this is the feminine gender, like mother and so on. In common gender, we also have some words which are used for both male and female. It's called the common gender. For example, teacher is a common word which refers to both male and female. So the word teacher is a common gender. Student can also be someone male or female. So it is a common gender. And in neuter gender, we also have some objects, right? We have some things which don't have any gender, which don't have any sex or status, then we consider this as neuter gender. So whether that is a neuter gender can only be the things where there is no sex, where there is no gender. خو دلته یو خبره For example, book, board, and so on. Shayan chiri gender nalari. If you study linguistic deeply and you know about the form of a word, to understand the sex of a word, the gender of a word from its form, then you can consider this as feminine or masculine gender. لکه پښتو کې موږ مفرد مؤنث او مذکر نومونه لرو د شیانو لپاره هم موږ مؤنث او مذکر نومونه لرو لکه قلم کلمه چې موږ وایو په پښتو کې موږ وایو چې دا قلم کلمه مذکر ده که مؤنث موږ وایو چې قلم مذکر دی دا داسې موږ استعمالوو ټول قوانین په دې باندې د مذکر نوم دغه کېږي اپلای کېږي لکه زه هم دا زما قلم دی ده نه وایو مذکر نوم کتابچه څنګه کنسیډر کیږي مؤنث نو دغه رقم په انګلیسي کې هم اوس دلته موږ چې دی د دې جنس ته نه ګورو شیان دي اما د دې دغه د لغت جوړښت ته موږ ګورو چې په لغت په جوړښت کې دا مؤنث او مذکر دی چې هغه لپاره په هره ژبه کې خپل قوانین دي بیا چې مطلب دا په کوم حرف سره ختم وي دا به مذکر وي په کوم سره ختم وي مؤنث وي یا دا خصوصیات ولري مذکر نوم دی دا خصوصیات ولري مؤنث نوم دی دغه رقم په انګلیسي کې هم که چېرته تاسو ډیپلی لینګویسټک مطالعه کوئ د شیانو لپاره هم تاسو کولی شئ میسکولین او فیمینین جنډر استعمال کوئ او ثابتې کوئ لکه بال لپاره هی شي استعمال کوئ د بیټ لپاره هی شي استعمال کوئ تر څو کله په دې باندې تاسو پوه شئ اما نارملی چې زموږ لینګویسټک موږ لټریچر نه وایو ضرورت هم د دې خبرې نشته موږ شیان ټول په نیوټر جنډر کې اخلو جنس نه لري نه میل دی نه فیمیل دی بس هغه پروناون ورته مونږ ریفر کوو راجع کوو چې هغه د میل فیمیل یو لپاره هم نه یوز کېږي فور ایگزامپل اټ هی او شي ورته نه استعمالوو دې زه پورې واخلم جنډر کې داسې خاص خبرې نشته
سمر سن وینټر که نه مسکلن کې راځي فیمیلن کې
د نیوټر جنډر کې مونږ اخلو اوسمونه ټول نیوټر جنډر کې اخلو یعنی ما ویلی چې اوس کله تا لینګویسټک نه مطالعه کړی د لغت په جوړښت نه پوهېږي بس جنس ته وګوره نارینه دی که ښځینه نارینه دی مسکولین جنډر دی که ښځینه دی فیمینین جنډر دی که بیخي ښځینه او نارینه نه لري نیوټر لینګویسټک یو مضمون دی مکمل د ژبې هغه جوړښت او بنیاد درته ښیي نو هغه په لیټریچر کې ویلی کېږي بیا ادبیاتو کې هلته به یې داسې چې مکمل هغه هر څه ډیپلی ته سټډي کوې مطالعه کوي
Sir, the word fish they gonna that's a common the proper
masculine نه معلومیږي نیوټر جنډر کې باخلي اوس یو حیوان دی یو حیوان لپاره ته ضمیر استعمالوي که چېرته د دې په جنډر ته پوه شو چې میل دی هی ورته استعمال کړه په جنډر یې پوه شو فیمیل دی شي ورته استعمال کړه او که بیخي تر دې په جنډر نه پوهېږي تا لپاره دا نیوټر جنډر دی چې دا ته په نیوټر جنډر کې واخلي او ټول حیوانات چې د یو حیوان په جنډر هم نه پوهېږي دا تا لپاره نیوټر جنډر دی حتی ته کولی شي یو ماشوم هم په نیوټر جنډر کې واخلي یو ماشوم دی د څو میاشتو نه معلومیږي چې دا نارینه دی که ښځینه دی دا تا لپاره کوم جنډر دی نیوټر جنډر دی
common severa ko sir ji da ta laka issues ya par misal animals se am laka creation male female
وصل در زمایرو خبره ده اوس کامن جنډر چې موږ کله اخلو دا لغت خو کامن دی دا خو یوز کېږي دواړو لپاره خو دواړو لپاره خو په بېله بېله طریقه یوز کېږي که نه اوس که ټیچر کلمه موږ میل دپاره استعمال کړه خو بله جمله کې به ورته ضمیر هی وي که چېرته دا ټیچر کلمه موږ د فیمیل لپاره استعمال کړه خو په بله جمله کې به ورته ضمیر شي وي اوس که دا کامن جنډر کې ته واخلې په کامن جنډر کې بیا به هم ته پوهېږي چې میل دی که فیمیل دی کامن جنډر معنا دا ده چې a noun which is used for both male and female the same میل لپاره هم یوز کېږي فیمیل لپاره هم یوز کېږي کله چې ته میل او فیمیل بیخي پېژنې نه نو بیا خو کامن نه شو نیوټر جنډر شو اوس نیوټر جنډر لپاره که ته ضمیر استعمالوې ته به ایټ استعمالوې ایټ ځکه ته د دې په جنډر باندې نه پوهېږي دا تا لپاره نیوټر جنډر شو کامن جنډر مطلب ښه پوهېږي چې دا میل دی دا فیمیل دی خو دا کلمه ورته یو رقم یوز کېږي د دواړو لپاره هم میل لپاره راځي هم فیمیل لپاره راځي دا کامن دی نو بیا به پیژنې جنس به تا ته معلوم وي نارینه که ښځینه که نارینه ضمایر به د نارینه لپاره کارول کېږي که ښځینه د ښځینه لپاره کله د نیوټر جنډر واخیسته اوس په هغه ضمایر کاروي چې د نیوټر جنډر لپاره
سجی یو خو اوس میل شو فیمیل شو کنه اوس اجراګان
هغه چې دی میل دی اصل کې د دې د بنیاد نه خو دوی خو په جامو په لباس او ځینو شیانو ځان فیمیل ته چینج کړی اصل کې د دې جوړښت د پیدایش نه چې دی هغه میل دی فیمیل نه دی صحیح او ځینې داسې چې د دې نیچرلی خصوصیت ډېر ورته والی زنانهو ته لري او ځینې چې دی ډېر ورته والی نارینهو ته لري خو په بنیاد کې د دې د بدن جوړښت چې دی هغه میل دی فیمیل نه دی دا به مجبوره ویډیو نه به وروسته کټ کړو اوس که چېرته د دې د بدن اندازه وشي د دې هغه د بدن غړي چې دي دا د نارینه دي که ښځینه کله به اجرا داسې اورېدلې چې د ښځینه تناسلي اله ولري ژوند کې ډاکټر صاحب تاسو طب کې چې ته لوستلي سړي او صرف هغه د بدن جوړښت ځینې خصوصیات ځینې داسې چې میل ته ډېر ورته ځینې داسې فیمیل ته ډېر ورته خو په جوړښت کې د دې د بدن بنیاد نه چې دی هغه نارینه دی ښځینه نه
نیچر کې نشي استفاده کولی
نه دا به میل کې حساب او میسکولین جنډر ټول هر پاړه غږیږي هی بورته ضمیر راځي هغه جنډر معلوم دی